This is a story about a baseball jersey and a player you've probably never heard of.
Mike Smith takes over for the Orioles in the fourth inning with nobody out.
It's a story about Major League Baseball, an imposter, and a countrywide wild goose chase that took me to more cities than I possibly could have imagined. But weirdly, this story about Baltimore starts 2 years ago in London, in England.
Good fastball by Mike Smith.
Let me explain. So I was scrolling on Depop, as you do, and I came across this jersey. Baltimore Orioles, Smith, number 41. A couple of swipes showed me the jog tag, Rawlings, set 1, 1989. That's a game-worn jersey, as in issued by the Baltimore Orioles, worn by a player on the field during a game. Now, you usually find more MLB gamers than any other leagues due to the sheer amount of players that pass through the MLB system. You know, a player could be called up, given a jersey, and sent back down to the minors after one game, never to be heard from again. And then, what do you do with their jersey? Well, we get it. It finds its way into the second-hand marketplace. Someone usually buys off the equipment manager with a case of beers, or a team runs an end-of-the-season fire sale, and collectors and resellers buy them up and sell them on. And each one has a different name on the back. A player you and I had never heard of, but they dreamt of being a big league player, and they made it. The proof's on the back of the jersey. Imagine working your whole life to get to the MLB, from little league through to college, working at your craft, polishing your game, adjusting the grip on your knuckle curve, dreaming of walking out onto the diamond with the name of a major league team stitched across your chest. And now imagine you finally did it. But for some reason, you didn't have your stuff that night. You get pulled from the game and kicked back down to AAA so fast you don't get time to grab your jersey on the way out the door. The one memento that supports the story you're going to be telling in bars for the rest of your life. So as I thought all this, my finger must have slipped or something, and I bought the jersey. And then I set about finding Baltimore Orioles Smith 41. See if he wanted his jersey back.
There we go. Love it.
Oh, Mike, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm good. I can't tell you how long I've been looking for you.
Really?
So to be completely honest, I've forgotten I'd ordered this jersey when it showed up at my front door. I cracked it out of the package and this thing was crazy. Heavyweight, double-stitched, Baltimore Orioles Rawlings authentic, game-worn jersey from the late 1980s. And so I logged onto Google to see what I could find. Typing in Baltimore Orioles Smith 41 and turning up with this, Birch Smith, current pitcher for the Baltimore Orioles who wears 26, so it's not him. Next we pull Phenomenal Smith, also a pitcher for the Orioles with a phenomenal name. But he was on the mound in 1887 and 1888, so again, it's probably not him, although what a name. And finally, on baseballreference.com, we find Mike Smith. Born in 1963, making him 26 at the time in question, which puts us roughly in the right ballpark, pardon the pun. So Mike is the third pitcher in our Orioles-Smith Odyssey, drafted by the Reds in the 5th round of the 1984 January draft out of Ranger College, Texas. Mike had bounced around the minor league system since joining the Gulf Coast League affiliate Reds in 1984, and things weren't looking too hopeful as we scrolled down the list, you know, Cedar Rapids, Billings, Vermont, Chattanooga. But on December 5th, 1988, he was selected by the Baltimore Orioles from the Cincinnati Reds in the Rule 5 Major League Draft, which puts him on the Orioles affiliate Rochester Red Wings in 1989, where, midway through the season, Mike gets his call up to the bigs. We found our guy, Mike Smith. Right, so throw it into Google Images, and wouldn't you know, there he is, even wearing our jersey. Thanks, Mike. Taking a deeper look at the stats, turns out our guy Mike made his major league debut for the O's in 1989. So not only is it a game-worn jersey, it's his rookie jersey. Mike pitched 13 games for the Orioles in 1989 before being reassigned back down to the minor leagues on August 13th. And I don't know why. Like, if we look at the stats for those 13 games, okay, that's why. For the non-baseball literate folks in the audience who came here from a Toronto Raptors jersey history lesson or an essay on the death of the NFL sideline, let me just break this down real quick. Baseball fans, go watch some Ricky Henderson base running highlights for the next sort of 2 minutes. So, ERA stands for Earned Run Average, which equates to the average number of runs a pitcher allows per 9 innings pitched on the mound. So basically, if you had that pitcher out there for the entire game, how many runs would they give up? For context, the highest ERA in the league last season was Patrick Corbin of the Nationals with 5.62. In 1989, Mike Smith's ERA was 7.65. That's not great, but diving further into the stats, we can see why. In Mike's first game, his debut in the major leagues, he faced the Detroit Tigers at home at Memorial Stadium in Baltimore. Taking the mound in the 7th, Mike gave up 8 runs in 1.1 innings of work. That's this many runs.
There's a drive to left, and Gonzo's going back to the scoreboard. He's watching going to the orange seats, and it's a home run by Hermanson.
As he was pulled at the top of the 9th inning and walked into the dugout for an early shower, he left the game with an ERA of 54. 54.
As a result of his disastrous outing Friday night, he enters this game with an earned run average of 54.00.
Of course, he better forget about that.
But don't count Mike out. 3 days later, he came back in the next game against the Tigers and delivered 30 strikes in 4 shutout innings and took home the first win of his MLB career. Let's go, Mike.
Mike Smith gets a big ovation. Another night, a different story for the young right-hander.
We gotta find this guy. What was he thinking on the mound as the Tigers knocked him all over the yard? So we get back on the trail, back on the hunt for Mike Smith. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is where we run into a fake Mike Smith, or as I like to call it, the Imposter. In 2013, there were 34,810 people in the USA named Michael Smith. This was the second most common first and last name combination in the country, just after James Smith, so that's lucky, I guess. But as I searched Mike Smith MLB on Google, a funny thing started to happen. Not only did I come across Mike Smith, pitcher for the 2002 Toronto Blue Jays, I came across Mike Anthony Smith, right-hand pitcher for the Cincinnati Reds in 1984. That's our Mike, right? Wrong. This is Michael Anthony Smith, right-hand pitcher for the Cincinnati Reds in 1984. And this is Michael Anthony Smith, right-hand pitcher for the Cincinnati Reds in 1984. And to make matters worse, after a brief stint with the Expos in 1988, Imposter Mike Smith joined the Baltimore Orioles and real Mike Smith in the preseason of 1989. So we have two guys, exactly the same first, middle, and surnames, same position, same organization, same year. Great. After a bit of research, it turns out they called our Mike Texas Mike, and the other Mike Mississippi Mike, after their states of origin. But with no interviews, no newspaper articles, and only a handful of baseball records, we've got two dudes named Michael Anthony Smith, and it looks like our search is turning into trying to find a needle in a Mike Smith stack. Or a Mike Smith in a Mike Smith stack.
There were 2 Mike Smiths with the Orioles in spring training, and since he is from San Antonio, he was referred to as Texas Mike Smith. The other Mike Smith was from Mississippi, so he was referred to as Mississippi Mike, but they no longer have to make that distinction because Mississippi Mike has been traded to Pittsburgh, where he becomes Iron Mike.
So we know that Mike played for the Baltimore Orioles in 1989 and 1990, so we can put a pin in Baltimore. We also know his nickname and the fact he was drafted out of Ranger College, Texas, which puts him in Texas. Once Mike had finished his career with the Orioles in 1990, he bounced around across the states playing independent leagues everywhere from Texas to Missouri, from Louisiana to New Jersey, completely scattering our search. Useless. Nothing on Facebook, nothing on Instagram, nothing on LinkedIn. But then, out of nowhere, we get a hit on Twitter, Judson High School in San Antonio, Texas, where Mike made an appearance for the alumni game. And then, another hit, helping 5th graders at an adventure camp in Montgomery, Washington, D.C., wearing an O's hat, I may add. And then finally, there it is, a recent picture of Mike playing for the Boston Wolfpack located in Boston, Massachusetts, obviously. But weirdly, the picture's taken at a tournament held in Las Vegas. So which was it? Boston or Las Vegas? Turns out, the Wolfpack play in the Men's Senior Baseball League, a league that covers the entire continental United States and offers national tournaments, hence the picture of Mike in Las Vegas. So I logged onto the Boston Wolfpack website to see if I couldn't find our guy. Now, when I tell you this website was designed at the dawn of the internet, it looked like it was stuck in 1998, all hyperlinks, no pictures, and certainly no contact us information. So we gotta go one higher, the MSBL. I got the details of the president of the Boston division of the MSBL and fired off a message. Hi there, my name's Hugh. I'm trying to get in contact with Mike Smith, he plays for the Boston Wolfpack. Long story short, I found a team-issued Baltimore Orioles jersey of his from 1989 and was trying to see if I could get it back to him. Luckily, it wasn't too long before they got back in touch with me. And he set me up with the head of the Boston Wolfpack, Steve Wolf. No, that's not a joke. The head of the Boston Wolfpack is called Steve Wolf. So I fired off another email, this time hoping to get a chat with Mike if he did in fact want the jersey returned. And luckily, Steve got back to me instantly and was completely on board with the idea. Not only would he facilitate the return of the jersey, he was going to set me up on a call with Mike, the Mike Smith, 41 for the Baltimore Orioles for 13 games in 1989 Mike Smith. Turns out Mike had been a long contributor to the Wolfpack and it was the least he could do. And so, it was time to get Mike his jersey back. Clean it, steam it, get it to the post office and send it off to Mike. And then, nothing. I waited, hoping to get an email from Mike, but nothing. I can't stress how hard it is to go about your daily life when you're waiting for an email from the Mike Smith, 41 for 13 games for the Baltimore Orioles in 1989, but somehow I managed to get through it. And then, one day,
So now I can hear you.
is that better?
No. I thought I lost you.
Oh, you got me. Yeah. Oh, Mike, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm good. I can't tell you how long I've been looking for you.
Really?
And so, we finally got to have a chat.
Wolfie, he said, Mike, he said, I'm sending you a package. And he said, when you get it, give me a call and I'll explain everything. And I got it, and when I opened it, and I was like, my eyes just lit up. Oh my God. I said, this is my rookie jersey, and it's the authentic one. It has Rawlings on the side, and it says 1989. How did you get this? He said, well, a guy named Hugh, he's been trying to find you, and he's in London. I said, London? I didn't think about stuff like that when I played. I like when the end of the season, hey, can I have this jersey? I didn't think about stuff like that. And then guy from London, he finds it, and then he finds Mike Smith. I said, oh my God. I said, I really, really appreciate it. I said, Wolfie, I knew you were amazing, but man, you just broke the record right there.
We spoke about the imposter, Michael Anthony Smith.
And they roomed us together in spring training. And I said, why would y'all do that? Because when people would call, well, I need to speak to Mike Smith. And we said, which one? Michael Anthony Smith. We said, which one? The right-handed pitcher. We're like, which one? We're both right-handed pitchers. We both have the same identical name. I said, you want to speak to Tech Mike or Mississippi Mike? Then, so forevermore, that's everybody started calling me Tex.
And we spoke about his disastrous rookie debut in 1989.
I did not sleep until I stayed up all day to the next day for my plane flight because I said, I'm not missing this flight. I get to Baltimore, and like you said, the bullpen was just depleted. And they called me in.
Welcome back to Memorial Stadium as Frank Robinson makes a pitching change and right-hander Mike Smith takes over for the Orioles.
I feel like I belong. But I was so nervous. The umpires knew I was a rookie, so it's like I threw a pitch right down the middle. They called ball, and I'm trying to keep my composure. Because I'm like, look, man, it's hard enough throwing a strike. Like I said, I understand he's the big league, but we breathe the same air. You got to call those strikes. Went back out there, hit. Every hit was a single.
Oh, there were no home runs. You weren't just getting plowed over the fence.
No home runs, no doubles, no triples. Every hit that they got off me was just past the infield. Frank Paultime came out there and he hit me. He said, I'm sorry I'm doing this to you. I said, we have nobody else. I said, as long as you don't send me back down to AAA,
And then Mike told me he'd never seen his own highlights. Highlights which I had. Highlights that I got to show him for the first time.
I said, if I pitch against this same team tomorrow, I will shut them out.
So, have you ever seen that?
No.
I've got another gift for you, Mike. I've got another gift for you.
Really?
I've got the video of that game that you pitched a shot out, and I've just put it in the chat.
The orange jersey. Oh, yeah. Nice. Wow, I hit my spot. Look at all them people, 35,000 fans. I threw hard. I didn't know I threw that hard. Dude, Hugh, you're God, man. You are amazing. You're better than Baltimore people, man.
After about 30 minutes, it was time to wrap up. But not before I gave Mike one last fact about that jersey. The 8-run game was at home, wasn't it? Not at Camden Yards, because the Baltimore Orioles weren't there.
Yeah, the Memorial Stadium.
So unfortunately, I think you might be in possession of the 8-run game jersey.
Really?
Yeah, so you frame that and put it on the wall and think about those 8 runs every time you look at it.
I will. Oh my God. Unbelievable, man. You're amazing, Hugh. It was a pleasure talking to you, man. And like I said, I really appreciate the video, the jersey, and
Awesome, mate. Well, I'll let you go. It was an absolute pleasure.
thanks a lot, Hugh. And you have a great day, man.
You too. See you later.
All right.
Scoring position, and Mike Smith gets a big ovation. Another night, a different story for the young right-hander. It's 5-3 Orioles. Let's go back to Tom.
What's up? If you watch these videos regularly, you'll probably know that this is usually a voiceover, but I thought it was about time I said thank you for coming to watch these videos and supporting and subscribing and liking. The channel's grown like crazy, and the comments, always a pleasure to read and get to engage with you guys about this stuff that we love. And if you can't wait for the next video, come join us on Instagram, which is now about 16,000 strong of all people like you and me who just nerd out about this stuff. So I'll see you over there. And if not, I'll see you next time. Peace.